Let's go. It's Thursday, my favorite day of the week. Here to recap joint practices. My goodness. It was definitely much more competitive with the Houston Texans than it was against the Miami Dolphins. They were able to make as many plays as the Lions, and you saw a joint practice that when there's talent on the field, the other side can make plays. It just goes to show you this was more in line with what I've been used to seeing at joint practices, where the opposition makes plays, is very competitive, and it's not so lopsided. It's true, the Dolphins were better on the second day, but my goodness, the Texans are much better than the Miami Dolphins. Clear as day, full stop. It was much more competitive. The Texans brought Derek Stingley into town, and oh my goodness, is he worth every penny that he earned? Nico Collins, CJ Stroud, the Lions defense got after it. 4 interceptions. 4. I got to see 3 of them. It was wild. Every time I turned my head, I watched the Lions today, the Lions offense against the Texans defense. That was a show. Man, it was great. It was great to be able to watch joint practice, catch up with friends that I knew there. I got to see a photograph of the of Virginia and her dad at the practice. He got to see JMO's grab celebrating in the crowd. It was a day that he'll never forget on his 70th birthday, watching the Lions. That made my day. People want to talk trash in here. Zoo's here. Thoughts on your fantasy career? It's terrible because I'm such a great Lions reporter. I have no idea what's going on, but I do know that the Texans have a good team. Wow. They got talent. And Dan Campbell said he expects them to be around on he expects the AFC squad to be competitive for a long time. And at the same token, D'Amico Ryans, these two teams had mutual respect for each other. Mutual admiration, you could see, just based on the play and the level of competition. Man, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter show. It's date night tonight. Me and the wife are hanging out. You guys blew up the website the last couple days. The doc is going to get in, get out. But I do want to thank you. This was the last training camp practice for the Lions. Next week is cut down day, and then it's a recap with Brad Holmes. And then after that, the following Monday, not this Monday, the following Monday, the Lions begin their preparation for the Packers. So this was amazing. This was an amazing training camp. 18 practices. It was the best one that I've been a part of. And I feel like this was the one that I grew the most as a reporter, as a broadcaster. I brought you daily coverage of what happened at Detroit Podcast. And today, I felt like if you were following along on our live updates and during the joint practice, you were there. I felt like you were going to be able to feel like you were part of the Lions practice. And that's all I could ever ask for. Thank you humbly. You allowed me to be part of the media, and Houston's video team caught me. If you want to check it out, I definitely self-glossed a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. Standing there watching JMO. That was a flag on the defender, but I'm standing right there covering it. You see me. That's the job I do, is watch football. And thank you guys for letting me be able to do it. It's a blessing. Best camp that I covered this year. I felt like we brought you features. We brought you key players, brought you everything that you need to know about the Detroit Lions in regards to how the roster is shaking out. And then today, I felt humbly my questions to Dan Campbell brought you closer to the knowledge of what he's thinking about the 2 quarterback battle, either 2 or 3. I asked him directly, if you keep 3 quarterbacks, how does that affect your team? He's like, the insight that he gave was, yeah, last year's with all those guys getting hurt, it impacts how he feels about depth. He wants depth. Little insight into what he's going to say in the meeting with Brad Holmes. There's no way they can keep 3 quarterbacks. There is no legitimate chance based on what you heard today from my question to Dan, unless Hendon Hooker throws 5 touchdown passes Saturday. Dan Campbell said it. It made sense. He said, what happened last year is going to affect my decisions, my thoughts. They need more depth. You cannot have 3 quarterbacks. And so I brought you that with an insightful question about his thoughts about the roster. And then I asked him in general, how difficult is it going to be to cut down these kind of, Brad Holmes keeps saying that it's going to be tough to make this roster. How tough are the battles? And he gave two great, insightful answers today. And his whole media session was insightful. Johnny Mac today. No more camp practices, no more public viewing. They will have a game on Saturday. They will then convene for meetings to decipher the roster, which will take place on Tuesday. We will see the 53-man roster next week. Brad Holmes will talk to the media, and that's it. Johnny Mac, it's cool to hear your appreciation for what you do. So many of us that love the game may not have that skill set, but certainly have the interest. Absolutely. That was above and beyond when I said, okay, just do it every day. I mean, I love podcasting. I flew from Allen Park here to get into what happened. And I want to share with you guys the excitement that I felt. It was great. Today, I was the most confident. I got everything that I wanted to get out of the note-taking. I didn't really cover the defense all that much, but it was good enough. 4 interceptions. They made some plays, and you can quickly find out who did well. And I'll recap what I read. 4 interceptions. They played okay, but the Texans made plays. They have players. Nico Collins, C.J. Stroud. They have talent. That's a good football team. And that's when a good football team comes to a road joint practice, they make plays. I saw Quintez Cephas. Of course, the first 4 times I look over to the defense, there's interceptions. And then the 4th time, there's Quintez Cephas dropping a touchdown, catching it. I talked to him briefly. Today, I met Chris Long to see a podcaster there. He's super friendly. And Booner was like, Doc, go talk to him. Booner's texting me when practice is going on. Booner's like, I need him to see me. Talk about a narcissist. Make sure you comment today because I have date night. Make sure you comment. Why are you so narcissistic, Booner? As I'm practicing, Booner's like, Doc, show Chris Long my videos. And you know how nice of a guy I am? Of course, I got his email address so I can get him on the podcast. So that's the next thing I'm trying to try to make happen. Try to get Chris Long on the podcast. To see a podcaster there was awesome. Got Booner some love. He's like, oh, man, you guys are passionate here. He laughed fully at Booner's Kool-Aid videos. So it's his videos are filtering all over the world. So I know Booner was excited. Then I saw Booner after practice with the crew. Man, that's a nice guy. Booner, easy. Lions fan, super fan Hutch, 97. Brian's in, showing houses. Doc, here I am out here showing houses. Here's the show. Love it when you're on during the day. Thank you for all the hard work. No, thank you guys. Superfan Hutch got to finally put face to commenter. He's also doing great content out there. Definitely fire off where you're at and let the people see what you do. Great to meet you. Great to see you in person again. And great to take a photo, which someone photobombed nicely too. That lady, perfect timing, big smile as she's walking. That's the art of photobombing is good. Check it out at Detroit Podcast. Ha! Who dat? Booner doing his solo shows has inflated his ego. Listen, he's got talent. He should be doing it. And he's got the little bit of that, what I like, a little bit of that rogue mentality. Out here dropping practice injury updates from what he's seeing from the stands. I love it. Listen, you got to love it. The media definitely caught notice. Like, who's out here tweeting about Graham Glasgow? None of us saw it because we're out in the far side of the field. Booner's right there. Booner had the best vantage point of the day. We're out here trying to watch 2 fields, and Booner and Easy got the best seat in the house. But I think I kept up with Booner with all the periods and everything going on. I talked to Dusty May people. I went up to him right away, and I said, I got to tell him. I said, so, nice to meet you, Dusty May. He said, nice to meet you. I said, what would you say to this? I said, what would you say if you met an on-SI NFL sports reporter covering the Lions? And I said, but I went to Michigan State. He started laughing. His crew started laughing like, oh, my God, this guy walked up and said that. He's like, well, I'm sorry. It's very unfortunate for you. And we shared a laugh, and I said, it's good to see you out here, and kept it moving because at the end of practice. It was a fun training camp. I met every single goal but one. And it's impossible because I feel like I was not annoying enough to the Lions PR to get a Lions player on here. I did a one email kind of thing, and if they didn't reply, I didn't bother. I mean, literally today, there's ESPN, the Chris Long podcast against Dan Campbell. They have so many outside requests but next year, it won't be like that. Next year, I will be the pest and say, okay, you can't just ignore my emails. I mean, they probably went to spam. They probably automatically said it. Macaroon, spam. I emailed once for an interview for a guy that confirmed. And then he doesn't go on Twitter that much. We confirmed it through X. I go, hey, okay, I go the right channel, email the PR, and there's no response at all. And I'm like, it's okay. They're busy. What are you going to do? It probably went to spam. There's probably 200 emails, and mine's buried in there. So I had one interview request for a player. That's the only thing I wanted to accomplish that I did not accomplish was to have a Lions player. But I still have time. I still have 7 days. I'm going to record daily until next Thursday. Exactly, Just a Fan. They all have a rogue spam mailbox for Doc. They're nice. They always apologize, but it's like, I know I'm not the Chris Long podcast. But I got their contact info. We shared a laugh. Make sure, guys, like the stream. There's 300 of you quickly. Share, like. Let's get into it. I got to hop out. Let's get into the news first. Quick nuggets here. I was the first to spot, and I think, too, which is good because I had so many friends and family in attendance that I got out there early, and I tweeted out. Walking out on the practice field, you get a chance to see who's out there. I scan the field, and I see 31 doing individual drills. I'm like, oh, he's back at practice. This is a good sign for a player that was dealing with knee irritation. He was out for a good period of time, and he was back at practice, and he was productive. So always the first thing you check in is with, is he going to participate in the team periods? And he did. For the Lions, you just see what he brings to the table, the swagger, the confidence that he brings to that defense. Him and Branch, 31-32, man the defensive backs room, and they're the back end. They're one of the top duos. And within the first couple reps of practice, Kirby Joseph's out there intercepting the ball. Now, I did have to double check. I'm like, okay, I did tweet it before, but I saw 31. I saw his number, but sometimes they roll up their jerseys, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I want to double and triple check, because once I saw him the first time, I didn't see him again. As all the other players started doing drills, they overshadowed him, but then I finally double and triple checked that he was out there. He was doing the drills. He looked good. I have video of him. I probably will drop it late this evening or tomorrow. Looks good. Kirby Joseph, hopefully with whatever he was dealing with the knee irritation, it does not preclude him from being productive. He's got time now to continue to do work and get ready for the opener. Kirby Joseph back at practice. Very good news for the Detroit Lions. Very good news. Aidan Hutchinson. Guys, that's what I said. The biggest offseason debate that I had off the record privately was with Booner. Me and Booner have been going back and forth because he found a source that has hit on a couple things that he believes to be valuable. And yet he asked me directly, what do you think about Aidan? And I told him 6 times, Booner, use your common sense. Why would Aidan sign first when Trey still got money left on the table and Micah Parsons has money left on the table? Why would he go and sign first? It makes no sense. His representatives would then be negligent if he comes in first, because the second that Trey comes in at 41 or 42 or whatever happens, Micah's going to come in at a high number. Micah's probably waiting as well to get in at 45. Aidan should be 1 million more than them based on the camp that he had, the confidence that he had. So just because an outsider who's not covering the team from inside locally, not using common sense, he read all the reports. It's clear what was happening. He read all the reports that Brad Holmes was saying, well, yeah, we expect to do it. He's a good player. We all assume that Aidan's going to get a fat contract, but there was never going to be a finalization of the contract right now. There's still 3 pieces of information we still need to know. What does Aidan want? Micah's deal, Trey Hendrickson's deal. Guys, remember, common sense is the easiest way to think about these things. And for, my man Booner to not trust me, there was no I kept saying, what is this, a 2-3 week finalization? What is this? I'd have a heart attack if I finalized the contract over a month. What's he waiting for? It wasn't real. So don't fall for that. Anybody can read and throw out information, but you also have to apply some common sense. Hutchinson spoke today. He's unsure of when it's going to occur. He's going to leave it to his people, and it's very smart to do that, because there are factors that you always want to take into account regarding the market. And I don't think it's going to be a distraction. He's very well compensated. He understands that as long as he stays healthy, I think the Lions are going to do right by him, make him probably the highest paid defensive end in the history of the National Football League. And if you're Aidan Hutchinson, patience is a virtue. Wait. Don't finalize anything until you know what Micah got and you know what Trey Hendrickson got. The market's set at 40, 41 with TJ Watt. Why would you in any capacity take anything less than market value when you're Aidan Hutchinson? So I truly believed when I reported to Booner that there was never going to be a finalized deal when it was starting to be rumored by outside people. Come on, guys. Trust the doc. It's very important in reporting, is not only someone from the inside, someone with common sense that understands money, negotiating, contracts. And there's no way Aidan Hutchinson is going to leave $5 million a year on the table by signing for 42 right now. The second he signs for 42, Mike is at 43 tomorrow. And then Trey might go, I want 45. Aidan deserves market-setting dollars. Full stop. Am I wrong? There's no way you look at that contract situation and say that he doesn't deserve to be the highest paid. Just a fan. Hutch may get close to $50 million, especially if he starts out hot. Exactly. Now, I'm not always right. Seeing green, 365, trust the doc. But common sense would dictate it wasn't being finalized. Somebody else would have said it other than the new friends that the Crunch Time crew discovered. I was right. I knew I was right. That's why I kept saying it. Greetings, Matt. Hey, Doc. Greetings from Wisconsin. Doc, you are so right about Hutch. He will wait and sign for bigger money. I think that's the case. But whatever the initial report was that you've seen now a couple times where someone waited 2 weeks later to put that nonsense out there. Remember, there are people that are just waiting to look around and put stuff out there. They don't know. They're just waiting to say, per this guy, this is what he said. Someone actually, I'm proud of you guys. A lot of you were saying, this is the guy you sourced? Source better. I love seeing those comments. That's the person you sourced, which makes no sense. So go back and tell the right people that there are times when you need to report accurately and wisely. And there are times you need not credit people outside of Detroit. Come on now. Finalized contract. Center position depth concerned. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. All right, 20 minutes in is when we get to the practice. Let me make sure I didn't hit anything else news-wise. All right, joint practice takeaways. Pretty simple, guys. It was even. 10-10, two great teams, trading reps. One good rep here from the Lions offense. Boom. Stingley makes another pass breakup moving forward. It was even, and you could see it. There was respect. There was competition. There was definitely a sharper focus. Nobody wanted to blink first. Nobody at all. Yeah, absolutely, who dat. Texans are a really good team. And Tev Sauce, exactly. I exposed Tev Sauce. Doc, you got schooled by Booner last night? No, that's not what happened. That's here nor there. I walked into one in which there was no win. There's no win when a whole fan base believes that Michigan was just. I was talking philosophically. Moral high ground. Simple as that. But I'm willing to have a fan base. Remember, I went to Michigan State. So inherently, there's going to be some people that are not fans of my opinion. But I'm okay to say it. Did you find anyone else debating it that ferociously, publicly? I'm willing to. Simple as that. Who dat? D'Amico Ryans runs a good program down there. He does. Exactly. And Tev, you would understand too. If I'm repping the green and white, what would you expect me to say? And also too, there is a moral high ground discussion that needs to be had about the whole Michigan stuff. I rep the Spartans. What am I supposed to say? But also too, I did say that I would not care if the Spartans did it. But what my point was, just real fast, was if you're trying to prevent this from the future, those punishments would not prevent it. You're a real one, Doc. Respect. Exactly. I hop into the fire and willing to get burned. Booner did a good job. But I also wanted to fire him up too. He knew it. And you can now, I mean, how are you going to win a debate with Michigan fans? It's never going to happen. But you will hear an impassioned plea from the Doc as to what my thoughts were. I was an even takeaway practice, and it was good to see the difference. Like, I was used to seeing practices against the Patriots, practices against the Giants, the Jaguars. I've seen joint practices now. Now I've seen the fourth, fifth time. They tend to be a little more even than what I saw against the Dolphins. The reason why the Dolphins got reported that way, because it looked so different than what any reporter had ever seen before. It was just, out of every 10 plays, the Lions were winning 8 of them. Typically, it's 1-1, and you get after it. So it was an even takeaway practice. Some takeaways: the defense forced 4 interceptions. So let's get after it and talk about it. The Lions defense: Avonte Maddox, Luke Barco, Kirby Joseph, and Amik Robertson all had interceptions. You'll see tomorrow a lot more in-depth coverage of what DJ Reed told me. I talked to him one-on-one for a good 6 minutes, and then the rest of the media got him again after, and I walked away and talked to Quintez Cephas. Good defense. Alex Anzalone had himself a nice day. Was flying around in coverage, doing his thing. Per reports, per talking to other Houston reporters, it didn't seem like Jack Campbell had his best day today. But by and large, there were plays made on both sides, and there was no clear winner. But, hey, that's good news. The defense is growing confident, and I got to see with my own eyes TA shut down Nico Collins for a couple reps. That was cool. And you see the stickiness. You see the confidence. But Nico also got his too. That's what teams do. One time the Lions win a rep. One time the Texans win a rep. You can get the report from others regarding how many times the Texans got in the red zone. I focused my attention on the main event, the stake. The Lions offense versus the Texans defense. And also, too, let's just self-gloss for 2 minutes before we get into the big-time breakdown before I got to run. I feel like, as of now, I hate to say it, but the Texans video team is a little bit better than the Lions. I feel like the Lions are doing some editing of the doc. I feel like the video team is not highlighting a reporter that's out there quite a bit. Now, if you happen to follow at Detroit Podcast, you will see I'm going to showcase. It's pretty cool. I'm going to pump it up here. I'm going to share it with you. Now, it's a good rep, good football. But also, too, it highlights just how my vantage point was. Look at that. Goff to JMO, flag, right? That's a flag. That's a clear flag. Flag. They didn't throw it. That's a flag on number 4. But more importantly on this play, look at this reporter. Look how close he got to the action. And look at him do his job. What's this reporter doing? He's writing down the play. He's writing down the numbers. And he's going, who's that got the flag? And then I go to my book. That's the art of reporting. You're watching me report right there. And, of course, they had to highlight the bald spot. I feel like they were trolling. Definitely trolling. They were definitely trolling. But that's me. I tried to get as close as humanly possible. I'm literally 2 yards behind the end zone. And now I will share something, how Doc rolls. A reporter, an older veteran reporter. There was a player, number 47, I believe, on the Texans. Makes a play and is literally walks up maybe a yard and a half right in front of me. I didn't flinch. I didn't move. All right. And he said some unsavory words, not at me, but I feel like at the play. It was a play the Texans made. He felt a need to say some confident words emphatically in my direction. So I looked to my left and the reporter goes, "Man, you need to move out of the way. You would have got hurt." I said, "What are you talking about? I would have had the leverage. He would have went flying." 47 on the Texans. You can look it up. I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "If he would have came my way, he would have been bouncing backwards." It was a fun time, man. I had fun today. I said, "What are you talking about?" And then also now, before we get into the play-by-play recap, I let Jim Costa know that I'm not really fond of his university. We talked football. It was a great time. Good dude. Humble dude. Talks football. Real dude. I always knew that. He's worked with my co-host at the Doc and Jock podcast, Adam Strozinski, in the past. So we've always, messaged privately. It's one of the first times we sat and talked for about 5-6 minutes. And I said, "Listen, I got to let you know, because I know you went to Central. Please keep the secrets of the Lions in this building." And he laughed. He said, yeah, I could be wearing secret glasses. I said, "No, maybe your badge there has some secret technology, because I know Central people have weird ethics." And he laughed and he got it. But I let him know. I said, "I don't know about you Central people." I said, "I feel like you're one of the good ones. You, Christian, the Tigers beat writer, some of you. The Chippewas have a weird ethics system that I would not be personally fond of. Jim, Christian, Evan. That is not how you roll. And you use time to try and hide the fact that you cheated. And you let Connor Stallions do his thing. Shame to Central." I let him know. We had a good time. And lightheartedly, of course. Joking around. Derek, Doc, any chance that perhaps Manu finds it difficult to get going against his own guys versus others? That would explain the bad practice. Decent game tape. Is that a Tonga thing? Absolutely. You're absolutely right. He's getting his ass kicked at Lions practice because there's so many good players. And the defense knows his tendencies. Aidan knows Manu's moves left and right at a PhD level. So that's why when he can go out, it's not as difficult. He can get some leverage. They don't know his moves. They don't know which way to lean. So he has a little bit of an advantage in that opponents in preseason games are second and third stringers. They're not knowing his tendencies based on film study. So that's why he's getting rocked in practice, because Aidan is going to dominate him. And second string defensive linemen are great. Mitchell Agude, Nate Land. They know all his moves. They know exactly when he anchors. They know how to get past him. They know his fine profile. Simple as that. Damon, the Doc's a rock star. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to try to roll through this. The first period was 7-on-7. The warm-ups, the teams, the cornerbacks, linebackers, quarterbacks, they all do their own little drills. You've seen the videos at Detroit Podcast. Those are the first 10, 15 minutes of practice. Your own groups, do your work. Now we get to 7-on-7. First pass is to Amon-Ra. Perfect. Next is a touchdown that splits. This is 7-on-7, made for the offense. Touchdown to Gibbs, splits 29-2 for the Texans. Then a short pass to Amon-Ra. Then the crowd wasn't really happy because J-Mo dropped the ball. 24 in coverage. That's Mr. Derek Stingley. And I wrote his number down a lot for getting burnt and for making plays. He'd get burnt, he'd make a play. He'd get burnt, he'd make a play. Next play after that is a touchdown with 29 in coverage to Amon-Ra. Next play after that is a 24 pass breakup from Stingley on St. Brown. See what I'm saying? See the theme here? Touchdown, pass breakup. Touchdown, pass breakup. So 2 touchdowns, first 7-on-7 for the first team offense. And if you followed at Detroit Podcast, you knew this. 2 more touchdowns from the second team. It was 8 to Tesla. 8 was the second team dude. 8 to 18 touchdown, 8 to 18 touchdown, twice, back to back. And then a pass to Tom Kennedy, which was short with 22 in coverage. And again, I'll try to use names of the Lions and numbers of the opponent. You can go back to Lions on SI. You can follow along. I posted a lot of this, and you can rewind and slow it down, and you can get your Houston Texans roster number. You'll know the names. Third team, 2 more touchdowns. So the second and third team only ran 3 plays and got 2 touchdowns each. That's pretty good. Hooker to 83 for a touchdown. Now, 19, I feel like had a touchdown in 7-on-7. The officials didn't do it, didn't give him the call. It felt like a toe tap within the lines, and I felt like it was a touchdown, but the officials didn't give it to him. But it was a nice toss from 2 to 19. Love it. And then the second touchdown from Hooker, the first one was to 83. The second one was to 40, I believe Zach Horton. So 7-on-7 was good. Each quarterback, 2 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns you will read about. Now we get to the first team period and kick it off to who else? Number 14. Number 11 completed with 5. Now, this was great. It was a completed pass to the left. 5 went to make the tackle but over pursued, and all 11 needed to do was cut into the seam, and he gained a bunch of more yards. So that was awesome. Run play to Gibbs, then a completed pass to St. Brown with Stingley in coverage, middle run to David Montgomery. My assessment was the middle runs weren't as good. That was my focus, was the interior of the offensive line with Glasgow and Mahogany and Ratledge. It just felt like the collapsing of the Texans defense and the middle runs was fair, like a yard or 2 with the middle runs. But Gibbs and Sports Illustrated, the national writer, was in town. He got to see the beautiful cuts that Gibbs made running through Mahogany side. When he would cut and bounce outside, it was much better than the inside runs. The inside runs weren't impressive. The bounce outs, clearly, and I said to Jim Costa, I said, that's what Gibbs has been doing all camp. He cuts it, and he's gone. After their middle run by number 5, it was the middle run to 5, nothing serious. 24 pass break up to St. Brown, and then it was a toss to JMO, was broken up by number 5. To end that period, touchdown to Raymond when 29 fell down. That's page 1. It's only 5 pages. Page 2. Now, it's an overcast day is what I wrote. Second team starts with a rocky run. Nothing serious. 8 completes a pass to 12, splitting 30 and 25. 33 with the left run. 18 completed pass right. Third down to earn another first down was 8 to 13 for the first down. It was a nice run, simple inch run. That's all that was needed. After Tesla got a completion, it made it 3rd and short. Easy completion, easy run play by Craig Reynolds to get the first down. 8 had a beautiful play action fake to Reynolds. Rolls out, throws it to 12, a drop, which I wrote as a takeaway. Too many drops today. I missed the second down play because I was writing down the offensive line. I missed the second down play, but the second string offensive line was 59 the left tackle, 77, 62, 63, 78. So I skipped one play, and and luckily today, I don't know what was going on. All the numbers came right into my vision. I was just like, bop, bop, bop. See? Right there. That's the offensive line. And it just came. And so you see right here, second down, getting offensive line. That's my note. I'm like, oh, I missed the play. But in the end, the drive stalled because on third down, the defense was winning, and Kyle Allen threw it out of bounds. Nothing there. Now we get the first special teams break. That's when me and Jim start BSing, and I start talking to other people. Herman Moore was there. Robert Porcher was there. Star-studded. The doc was there. Star-studded event. Man, thank you. 600 people at 4:30 on a Thursday. Man, I love you guys. That means a lot to me. All right, team period. First pass is to Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can see a trend here? Need a pass? 14's available. Check mark. They tried it deep to Khalif Raymond with Stingley in coverage. I feel like that's a matchup that you're not going to win. And Goff launched it and overthrew it. Incomplete. Run right to David Montgomery. A pass to Laporta in the seam. That period's over. That was a completed pass. Second team gets a couple plays. The second team was dominated by the Texans defense. The second team, 8 had a scramble, completed short pass right to 85, and then a sack. That drive stalls out. Now we get back to the ones. 16-0 right. Good run. This is one of those runs where you're like, wow, hand the ball off to 0 and let's enjoy it. Now this is the rep of the day for their defense. Sorry, guys, I got to see it live, and this is when I tell Jim Costa, damn, that's what a defensive end can do. Damn. Will Anderson toasted Penei Sewell. Oh, my God. It was like this. Blink of an eye, and 51 is in Goff's face. It was awesome. He used a power move, got past inside Penei Sewell. Now, people were like, I thought he's not supposed to hit Goff. He didn't hit him. He just went right for the ball. It was just like laser to the ball. Boom, knocked it out, and Will's dancing. I was like, holy smokes. I'm like, see, that's what a defensive end in his prime could do. I told Jim, holy cow. Me and Jim saw that rep directly. Oh, wow. It was impressive. You got to give him credit. And definitely he let people know about it. I was impressed. Will Anderson, holy cow. Don't block him. 51. When you play the Texans, 51, identify 51. 51. Chip him, stop him, get him off his movements. Because if he gets a full path to your quarterback's not going to be around. And then J-Mo picked it up. J-Mo, 2 passes in a row. 16-14, 24 is flagged. 16-0 left run, 16-5 run. 16-0 short screen in the seam. 16-14 right completed. 16-1, 24. I didn't write what happened, but I believe. I didn't write what happened because it was crazy. Now, you guys tell me how to handle this. It feels like the Texans social media team, 16-1, 24 in coverage, 1 toasted them. Into the end zone, touchdown. We're all celebrating. We're all like, wow. I tweeted it. J-Mo goes into the crowd. He's celebrating. We move on. I write it down. 16-1, 24 cooked. Now, the Texans social media feels the need to do what the Lions social media did and felt the need to say it was out of bounds. So we're going to just suspend reality and just say J-Mo cooked Stingley. He cooked him because he beat him. Now, the keeping in bounds part, let's just not worry about that. Because the factual journalists were like, we're not giving J-Mo that touchdown. I'm like, why not? I'm like, he was dancing. It was great. He literally cooked Stingley. He beat him. It was just perfect toss. It's just maybe extend out the end zone a little bit so J-Mo can get the touchdown. Good Lord, give it to him. Half the media was like, we're just going to give it to him. So I had to rewrite it a little bit and quick edit in my observations because I gave it to him. I said, okay, there's a debate. So if you guys go, I'm asking you, the one favor I'm going to ask you, if they show that J-Mo is out of bounds, just tag me in it and let me go see it because I'm going to run out of here and hang out with the wife. He's in bounds. Let's just say he's in bounds for the sake of the Lone Wolves podcast. Now we get to one more team period before the red zone. Now this time the offensive lines were mixed and matched. You had 70 right, 74 next to him, 65 is the center, 52 and 72 the left tackle. That's the start. About 2-3 reps in, they switched it up. It was 2-13 run, handoff, 95 of the defense jumped, another run to 13, big pass from 2-19 from Hooker, good pass, 19 right in front of me. The crowd loved it. Love it, touchdown. Love it had a better day, I believe, than Meeks. 48 run, Hooker scramble, run right by 48, incomplete toss to number 19. Now, at some point, they switched up the lines, and I got this line combo. So Hendon Hooker got to work with a couple different line combos. It was 78 at the right side, 63 next to him, 62 the center, 77, and 59. So he got to mix and match in that period. Now we get to the red zone, and this is when some good work happens. 87 dropped the ball to start. Easy catch, mental error. 16-0 run middle, nothing serious. Toss attempt to Raymond, incomplete. But then they were kept inching it closer based on the starting position. And like the tackle in the middle wasn't serious, but Montgomery got a touchdown rush. Nothing serious, nothing to glean from that. It's a red zone period. You were close to the end zone, and you were inching closer based on the run play to Gibbs. Got you in a position where 5 could get a rushing touchdown. Second unit comes in, and you get the offensive line of 70, 74, 65, 52, 59 at left. 13's a short run. Number 12, short of the end zone, just short. So it's a completed pass to Tim Patrick, just short. 48 with a short run. There's no touchdown in this red zone period. I think at this point there was a defensive rep where they knocked the ball out of Kyle Allen's hand and they kept it moving. So Kyle Allen had a rush. See, the defensive line of the Texans got after it across multiple units. Now, this was great. This was a great series for the first team. It goes touchdown, 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 2-point play. Touchdown to Gibbs. Lovely. Touchdown to Gibbs again with the spin move. This one was where he maneuvered. He did a couple moves, spin move into the end zone toward me. 3rd and 3. They called it out. 3rd and 3. It was a 16-14 toss touchdown, splitting 5 and 2. Now, the next play, it's shouted out. 2-point, 2-point, 2-point. It's a 2-point play. Goff gets cute, tries a no-look pass to St. Brown. It gets intercepted. And that was his only real bad toss. He tried a no-looker, running to the right, and it wasn't going to happen. It was a 2-point play. It was over. Hooker's in, 2-13 run. Hooker scrambles out of bounds left. Short run by Sailors. Great play fake by Hendon Hooker to 48 Sailors. Great play fake. Play action toss. 40 finds his way in the middle for a touchdown. Jake Bates makes 3 field goals in declining succession, meaning it was maybe like 45, 35, 30. He just kept going lower in yardage, and they got after it. So good. This is when I get the email contact of Chris Long. I'm like, hey, thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. Now we get into a team period. Lions go 3 and out. Middle pass to 0. 5 is stuffed by number 4. And 48 batted down a pass that was intended for 87. Now you get 8 scrambling to 8's in now the next period. 8 is tossing it, handing it off to number 13, run middle, nothing serious. 8 tosses it to 85 with 37 in coverage. It was completed. 8 tossed it to 18. It was a high pass, not completed to number 30 and 37 in coverage. And this is back-to-back incompletions to Tesla. 8-18 incomplete. And then the play of that unit was the man, the little engine that could, the guy that just fires up the crowd, the touchdown pass to Tom Kennedy. Follows his blockers. Houston was probably like, why are they giving it to Tom Kennedy? And he's just standing there and just marches right into the end zone, right up the middle. Nice touchdown. Crowd was excited. Good recap so far, right? Keep smashing that like button. Hit that notification bell. I'm going to go one more week. First team gets back in. That drive is capped off by a touchdown too. So 2 back-to-back touchdown drives that I got to see. 87 middle completed. Left run by Jahmyr Gibbs. 60. This was a weird play. This might have been when Graham Glasgow got hurt. Felt like he stumbled as Gibbs was running by. I didn't see the Graham injury. I was watching and taking notes on all these plays, but I think at this point it would make sense around this play something happened because he looked awkward as he was running. And I noticed that. I put 60 stumbled. He was running upright, but like, you know that feeling when you're like trying to keep yourself upright, but your momentum's taking you forward? That's what it looked like. It was real awkward. 16 to 87 completed, run to David Montgomery, and then a touchdown toss, splitting 30 and 4 in coverage to Khalif Raymond. Touchdown. Now, it's very rarely I write something down that I have no clue what I wrote. I don't know what this means, and I'm going to share it with you. I don't know what this means. I'm going to rack my brain for like 5 minutes, but I wrote, after the touchdown, I wrote 15 ball out, 19 ball out. I have no clue what this means. Literally. Touchdown Raymond, 15 ball out, 19 ball out. I don't know. I've never used this code before. 15. I looked at it when I was recapping it in my writing. I said, I have literally no clue what this means. So if you guys know, you tell me. But I wrote 15 ball out, comma, 19 ball out. I don't know what that means. My one false start botch of the day. And then we get to the situational periods. Yeah, 15 ball out, 19 ball out. I don't even know if it's the Lions. Yes. Thank you. Because I tweeted it. See how much I'm so bad at special teams? That's what it means. Thank you. That's what it means, Superfan. Because in that special teams period, I don't even give it time to label it special teams. Grant and Lovett had the ball hit the ground. Thank you. Pick up the flag. There's no penalty. You know how good that makes me feel? I'm like, what the hell is this? It didn't even hit me that I tweeted it because it was so like, oh man, like, come on, dude. Can't be dropping the ball. Come on, dude. That's what it was. Man, you know how good that is when you don't know something and you're lost in the dark and you guys pick me up. That's what a community does. I'm like, what kind of dumbass note is this? That's what I'm really telling myself. I'm like, what the, and you don't want to ask like someone in the room because they're not going to know what the hell that means. It's code. 15 ball out, 19 ball out. I have to. That's what I'm going to get better at next year. I'm going to be more of a pest to PR and make someone talk to me. And I'm going to take better special teams notes. I am terrible. I am horrible. Not even labeling the period. Not even labeling what that was. Superfan, credit to you. Again, tweet, comment your podcast and get after it. Free promotion, brother, for life. Thank you, man. Man, that feels good when you just like, I read it to you guys and I'm still, it's most of the time when you read your notes back, it'll hit you like what it was. So it pissed off a lot of people. You guys are like, don't let Grant. It was a good special teams play, man. Those guys, those Gunners popped the ball out 2 times. Now, I don't know how many special teams plays were ran. It was like an 8-minute period. That's a mental rep. I'm watching and talking, and it's really a chill time for me. But I should write special teams. All right, 2 team periods. All right, get your last-minute questions in. I'm probably going to be done at 5. There you go. Listen, Talk Live is the Lions. Talk Live is the podcast with Dan and the crew. Follow him. Give him a like and a subscribe. That's a good dude. That's a humble dude. Yeah, of course. That's what I'm going to do. Should just special teams O and D for what group you're watching when you create new sections. Thank you. I will do that. Sometimes I just write the word special teams and then nothing in it because I don't follow it. This team period was with the ones. This is the last 2 periods. Down 2023, 1st and 10, 1 minute, 4 seconds on the clock. 4th period, 2 timeouts, 39-yard line. Man, I took good notes today. I took really good notes, as evidenced by I wanted to go 30 minutes and I'm already past. 16 to 11 was a drop. I didn't include Raymond in the drop list in my observations. 16 to 14 left. 1st down. 1st and 10. Again to Amon-Ra. 2nd and 5 from the 45, 38 seconds left with a timeout. Toss to Raymond. 1st and 10, 28 seconds left from the 38. No timeouts left. It was a toss to 87 and spiked the ball. 14 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from the 18. 16 throws it out of bounds right. 3rd down and 10. 8 seconds left. 18-yard line. 3rd down and 10. Big time play. 16, 2, 1 with 4 in coverage. That's the play that you see me. That's the play. 3rd down and 10, 8 seconds left from the 18. That should have been a flag. But the bogus officials did not call the flag. That was the me play. That was the bald-headed reporting play from me that you saw live on this podcast. 2 seconds left. They don't challenge it. They don't fight it. They just keep it moving. Field goal baits. And we call it a day for the Lions offense. Now, defensively, other side now, Lions defense, I get to see their final rep. It is 1 minute, 4 seconds left on the clock. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. 3 timeouts. Texans trailing 23-20. 7 scrambles. 2nd down and 7. Pass breakup by the Lions. I believe it was Jack Campbell on a toss for 33. 3rd down and 5. 44-yard line, 42 seconds left. 7-19 in the seam was open. He targeted 19, Hutchinson, a lot. They got a Hutchinson. 7-19 is written down a lot in this series. 1st down and 10, 36 seconds left. 7-19 with 4 in coverage was ruled a catch at first. Then the officials confer and pissed off the Texans, but they called it incomplete. Incomplete, which I was like, yeah. I was mentally into it. I was like, yeah, incomplete. You gave us a jam job call on 19. Now you get one on your 19. So 2nd and 10. But I felt like it was a catch. Honestly, if it was me, I would have just kept flipping what these officials were doing. But we'll take it. 2nd and 10, 29 seconds left from the 44. Now, the weird part is that I'm going to have a public complaint out of 6 out of 10. The clock operator was terrible. Like, he was updating it slowly. Like, I was writing it faster than this dude was updating it. Like, pick up the pace. This is the NFL. Pick up the pace, clock operator. Spot the ball, find the time. And he just left it, I think, at the 44-yard line the whole time. Pick up the pace, clock operator. Let's go. This is the NFL. Horrible job. Really, the only complaint that you have is that these clock operators are slow as heck. 6 out of 10 complaint level. But anyway, the gist of it is 2nd down and 10, 29 seconds left. Who knows what yard line, but it's inching toward the end zone. 7-17 completed with Amik in sight. Now, it's 3rd down. Key play. 3rd down. Key play. 7 goes to 19. No dice. They kick the field goal. Practice is over. That's what happened. I gave you 99% of the plays that just happened. That is what happened at training camp. Tell me anybody else that did that for you. Go find them. They're not there. I just ran down practice. Told you my mistakes, told you my errors. Even practice, it was fun. I had a good time. That's what happened. Even practice, and both teams have the utmost respect for each other. Both teams didn't score on the final team periods. Both teams made plays. Both teams gave up some plays. And I'm humbled by the fact that 750 people are following me on a Thursday. Smash that like button. I'm about to go have a date with my wife. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to see Fleetwood Mac. I would do this again. I will do it again next year too. I'm going to keep going daily till next Thursday. 40 days of Doc at 2025 training camp. Nobody else did it. Nobody else did it free. I don't need your emails. I don't need anything. I just need your support. I needed your enthusiasm for this idea, and you guys delivered. Thousands of listens, thousands of listening hours, new members, and the best part of my day, and I'll let you guys in. I slid in Virginia's DM appropriately, and I said, hey, did your dad have a good time? And she said, thank you. Sent me a picture of him. He's looking good. Man, I didn't ask her ethnicity, but this dude looked like he's 50. Happy birthday to the dad. She said, Watching the Lions made his day. He got to see J-Mo's catch right in front of his face. I said, you made my day. Makes all the waking up at 6 o'clock worth it and fun for me. That's the joy I get. Was the first fans I said hello to that Dr. Fred said I gypped. Dipshit. And then Virginia, who won yesterday. Come on, man. I said hi to both people that won. You dipshit. I'm the doc. Trust me. I'm not here to clown around with tickets. I brought joy to the people. Thanks, Doc, for the updates. All balls, no D, $5 super chat. 40 days of Doc, so where's the arc? By next week, who knows? Maybe I'll have it all grown out and tired, but I still got I could go another 2 hours, but I got to get to the wife before she kills me. Thank you, guys. Reminder that the best part of my day was not watching Lions football, was talking to the 4 fans who thanked me for waiting in line. Simply, I just waited in line and got the tickets with the purpose of giving them away. Simple as that. That's what I'm about. He got joy. 2 sets of fans got joy. So if you're the type of person that feels the need to go online and question who's giving away tickets that are free, that I get no benefit from trying to keep them, then shame on you. And you know who you are. I called you out. Peace and love. I'm the doc. Let's go. Let's talk tomorrow. We'll talk more about from the practice and what I learned today, what that means. I'm the DOC from the 313, John Macaroon. My time's up.